Hi, I'm Julie. I am a regional sales manager for Allison's Pantry, and I'm excited to bring to you today some really fun barbecue tips and some recipes that you can use for the summertime barbecues that you'll be doing. The first recipe that I'm going to be sharing with you is an Asian garlic steak skewer. You are going to love this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start pouring the ingredients into our bowl. We have half a cup of sugar. We need a tablespoon of minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds, 1/4 of a cup of sesame oil. We need 2/3 a cup of soy sauce, and we need a half a cup of, I used olive oil, but you can use vegetable oil if you prefer. And then we need to grab a spoon. Okay, we're gonna mix all this up together, and then we're gonna add our ginger. Now this is a really fun tip for ginger. If you want to have fresh ginger, all you need to do is just keep it in your freezer, and then when you're ready for it, it's ready to go. And then we're just gonna mix all of this up. It's gonna be so delicious. So this is a marinade, and we're gonna pop our steak into the marinade. Now this steak is the most tender steak you will ever eat. It's our number 6044. It's our flat iron steaks. This is our best-selling steak that we have. Everybody loves this, and you will love it too. And there's a million different things you can do with it, but what I've done is chopped it up into 1-inch pieces, and we're gonna drop this into our marinade, and we're gonna let it marinate for about 3 hours, or you could let it go overnight, and then we're gonna string it onto our skewers with red onion, and then we'll put it on the grill. So we're just dropping this right in there. And we're gonna stir it up and then let it sit for our 3 hours. This is a really fun recipe that you are going to love. It's easy and actually good for you. So we are using our premium Pacific Foods Alaskan salmon, which is so delicious, and there's a million ways you can cook it. And we are making salmon lemon kebabs. So first we're gonna make our marinade, and we've got about 2 tablespoons of oil, 2 tablespoons of olive oil that goes in that. And we've got a tablespoon of minced garlic. And then we've got 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley, which is gonna make it really good. We've got just a touch of salt and a touch of pepper that goes into this. It also calls for 1/2 of a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. So we're just gonna, well, it's not gonna come out very good. Gotta love the way I measure. There we go, that looks like 1/2 a teaspoon. 1/2 a tablespoon, I mean. And then we also have some fresh squeezed lemon juice that's going to go in with that. And then all we have to do is just stir that up, and it smells delicious. Okay, then we're gonna take, I have the skewers, or the salmon, and they're all chopped up, ready to go in about 1-inch pieces. And we are going to, probably the best way to do this. Now I've soaked, if you can see, I've got my bamboo skewers have been soaking in water for about an hour, because that will keep them from lighting on fire when we put them on the grill, which I think is probably a really good idea. And then if you use 2 skewers instead of 1, that actually makes it easier so that, that you can flip them on the grill, which is kind of fun. So we're just doing a little lemon and a little bit of salmon, just like this. Doesn't this look good? Okay, and then we're gonna get our pastry brush, and I'm gonna put my plate over here so that you can see. We're just gonna use the pastry brush and kind of just paint this beautiful marinade on top of it, like so, and then they're gonna be ready to go on the grill. Such a fun treat. Sometimes when you're doing a barbecue, you want to do something that's really fast, really easy, and really impressive. And that's what this recipe is. This is a grilled shrimp. And what I've done is I went ahead and I purchased it's a Caribbean jerk marinade. And that's what we'll be using. And then we're using our black tiger shrimp. And this is, I'm telling you guys, the most beautiful shrimp you have ever seen. Great big, huge chunks of shrimp. It's fresh, it's raw, and it comes frozen, and it's deveined, and it's also been peeled. And so it's just ready for you to do whatever it is that you need it to. So all we're going to do is thread it onto the skewer, because I think when you're grilling shrimp on the barbecue, it's going to be a lot easier to grill it when you have it on a skewer instead of trying to make sure it doesn't fall or anything like that. So we're just threading it on here like this, and then once we have it on there, all we have to do is just paint our marinade on it. And then it's going to be, doesn't this just look so good? If I was being executed, my last meal would be shrimp. I'm telling you, the stuff is so good. And the shrimp that we sell is the very best of them all. So that's how you do it. Now it's ready for the grill. Okay, we're outside of the grill. I'm wearing my trusty coat because this is Idaho spring weather and it is so cold out here. It snowed this morning. So a couple of things about the grill. When you are doing grilling, you want to make sure that you're starting with a clean grill. You want to make sure that your grill is hot to start. A good rule of thumb is that you know it's hot enough when you can only hold your hand over it for about 1 to 2 seconds. Then you know it's hot enough. And then the other secret is when you're working with meat, you don't want to flip it, poke it, turn it. You just want to put it on there and let it cook. So we are doing remember these are our Asian steak skewers, and we have our salmon, doesn't this just look so good? Our salmon lemon kebabs. And then we have our, these are our shrimp pineapple. This is, like I said, my last meal. This is so good. So we're just gonna pop it on the grill and hope for the best. See, but you can see that it's getting hot. It's about 600 degrees is what it is at. And we're just gonna pop these on here and let them cook. Now the salmon and the shrimp are gonna cook a little bit faster. They don't take as long. It's about 3 to 4 minutes. And then on the steak, it's gonna take about 8 to 10 minutes, depending on how rare you want your steak. Okay, we are just gonna let this cook. Okay, so our food has been cooking, and as you can see, it's almost ready to be pulled off. Tongs are really your best friend when you're working with meat on the grill, because then you're not poking or prodding or squeezing out juices or anything out of your meat. And we can tell that our shrimp is done because you can see it's a really pretty nice pink color. Whoa, I'm losing my shrimp. And you can tell that our salmon is done because it started to turn an opaque color. Doesn't that look delicious? There we go. Not very coordinated. And then of course, the steak looks beautiful. I like my steak just a tiny bit medium rare, but as you can see, I'm gonna just get a little close-up of this. It just turned out so good. The salmon is delicious. The steak turned out good. The shrimp is heavenly. This is something that's fast, easy, and everyone's gonna love it. Okay, a few tips about using your grill. You want to use a hot grill. You know it's hot enough when you put your hand, and you can only hold your hand over it for about 1 to 2 seconds. When you are cooking hamburgers, you're going to cook them a little bit differently than when you cook a steak. So let me show you as we're putting the hamburgers on there. So you want to start out with a cold hamburger when you lay it on there, and as you put your hamburgers on there, you want to make sure that they don't get touched a lot. So hamburgers go on cold, but you want your steak to actually rest before you put it onto the grill. You want to salt and pepper it and then let it sit on your counter for about 20 minutes till it's room temperature, because that's going to help hold all the juices in. Whereas with the hamburgers, it's the opposite. You want to do it the other way. So I'm just going to add a little bit of seasoning. Now when you're seasoning your hamburgers and your steak, you don't have to use a lot of fancy seasonings. You can if you would like, but sometimes salt and pepper is all you need. Okay, so once we have them on there, the secret to having a really good meat that turns out is once it's on there, you're not going to turn around and touch it. It's so tempting when your hamburgers are cooking to kind of smash them down flat with your spatula. don't. What that does is that makes the juices go away. And you poke them or slice them to see if they're done or how rare they're done. Man, you don't want to do that either. You want to put them on the grill, and then you want to leave it and let them cook, and only flip once for both of them. Now for a good burger, you want to cook it for about 4 minutes, and then flip it, cook it, and then it should be done. And for the steak, you want to cook it 4 to 5 minutes on one side, and then you want to flip it. And for a rare hamburger, a medium rare hamburger, or a medium rare steak, you want to cook it 3 to 5 minutes more. For a medium done steak, you want to cook it 5 to 7 minutes more. And then for a well done steak, you want to cook it from between 7 and 10 minutes or so. So if you can time your stuff instead of poking at it, then it's going to turn out a lot better when it's done. The other secret to doing a really good steak or a really good hamburger is that you want to make sure that you let it rest when it's done. So once it comes off the grill, then it sits for half the time that you spent cooking it. So if you cooked your hamburger for 8 minutes, then you want to rest for 4 minutes. And if you cooked your steak for 10 minutes, you want to let it rest for 5 minutes. And then that just kind of lets the juices reabsorb into the meat so that you have a really yummy, juicy meat that you're eating. Now, I hope you know that when you're using Allison's Pantry Meats, you're using top of the line, highest quality. Our hamburgers are just fantastic. Our steak, top of the line. And so you're always going to get a great product when you're done because you're starting with such a high quality product. All right, you guys, I have the perfect burger. Doesn't that look delicious? We have the best hamburgers. Plus, I put some of our pre-cooked bacon on there and some of our French fries that I cooked in our air cooker. And this is a dinner everyone is gonna love. Our steak is finished. It turned out absolutely perfect. I hope you guys are all gonna have as much fun as I am doing your summer grilling this summer. Thanks so much.